I Ain't That Shit.
It's about self-empowerment. It's about self-awareness. It's about self-respect.
My bishop got a phone call from another church. And they were trying to find my husband because there was a young girl there that was heartbroken because she just had to cancel her wedding.
Why did she have to cancel her wedding?
Because she was getting married to my husband. I swear to God, I'm not making it up. I couldn't make it up.
Are you serious?
I couldn't make it up if I tried. And that's what he was running away from. He had got himself... And so when that woman had sent that gift, he had told her little bits about his life. She didn't know.
She didn't know he was married.
All this time. And he is now getting married. And so when things began to break down, where he could no longer balance the two lives, was he was now planning to get married to this woman. And if those phone calls had not occurred, I think my life would have a different story because he would have been a bigamist. And I don't even want to try to put that story together.
Because you would have stayed and allowed him to come and go.
Well, you see, once that had happened, there would have been nowhere out, right? If he had done that, if he'd got married to that woman, everything would have blown up.
Because you can't maintain that type of...
But thank God,
Thank God.
Thank God. I don't know how or why that bishop knew my bishop to phone my bishop.
You know what? Because God loves you.
Exactly.
Because he loves you.
He saw what I was going through.
He loves you. He's a God of a second chance. He covers and he protects. And what's unfortunate is that this is a man in church. The ones that we're always told to be, and I don't know, that's just
still
my
playing,
thing.
Still worshiping,
still ministering,
still leading the choir,
and
everything.
nobody knew that this was going on.
No.
Nobody knew that this was going on.
And oh my God. When I first came to America, I went to a session where they talked about the masks, and I said, I am telling you the truth. I get the prize for wearing the mask. I have to get the prize.
You do.
Because I wore it, and next thing I know, I am sick. I'm in hospital, and everything is just, everything went. I don't even have time to get into the stories around the money. I found out that he had emptied out bank accounts, that he'd, oh my God. He had cashed out policies.
Have you forgiven him?
So, I went a long time because, I got divorced and just started to do my life. And I said, I don't have time to process forgiving you. I just need to fix my life. And so I hadn't. But then I remembered when I was at my lowest in all of that, when I was on the ground, and I shared this with somebody the other day, when I couldn't see what to do, and I hadn't processed how to forgive him, I just needed to be whole. I came on one day and I stretched out prostrate on the floor in my dining room. And I said, God, I cannot get up from this floor until you tell me what happens next. Because I cannot do this. I cannot lie anymore. I can't fix this. My heart is broken. I don't have any money. I don't know where to go. Nobody understands. Girlfriends I thought who were beside me have gone away. I'm done. I'm done. So if you don't fix
Give
me,
me some direction, God.
I cannot get up from this floor.
Right.
And it was a Friday night. And I was on that floor, no food, praying and begging and pleading till Sunday morning. I never got up because I needed to see God. I needed to see God.
Those who seek me shall find me. Just,
Yes.
That type of hunger to,
I needed. And he all he said to me was, daughter, I told you a long time ago that there were times when the only way to fix the jar is for it to be broken and for me to start again. And I had tried. I can't tell you, I don't have time to tell the story, but I tried to mend the crack in the jar. I did the counselling. We renewed our vows. We did all of that, but it was broken.
Let me ask you this. Did you ever ask God in the beginning if he was the one?
I did.
And you said you believe God said yes?
I believe that God said yes. But So that's why I was at my wit's end, because I'm not a person of folly.
Okay.
I don't just follow after stuff.
Yeah, if it's something that's broken, you can try to glue it back together, but there's always some fragments of pieces that you'll never be able to see enough to pick up and put it back in. And if you don't get all those pieces, it's not whole.
God just said to me, he said this, I've told you this before. And I was trying to put it on that thing, and I was trying to fire it to get it, and he said it's done. And in order for me to go forward, all of it had to go. And everything had to go. So then my marriage was gone. A lot of people that I knew, I had to move away.
You had to another life.
Yeah. So what was interesting was, and I think I mentioned this to you, God brought a restoration out of a deep place of pain. Mm-hmm. Because in the midst of all that story, when I renewed my vows, I planned a second honeymoon. Mm-hmm. And the second honeymoon was a trip to Antigua. And I booked. And I went on that second honeymoon on my own. Because he just turned around and said, I can't do this anymore. And I said, you know something, I'm done. I've tried, I'm done. And I'm leaving. And I threw his stuff out on the floor, and I packed my bags, and I drove to Heathrow, and I got on the plane to Antigua. He was flabbergasted, because after 4.5 years of me allowing him to come and go,
you showed strength,
because he was coming and going all that time. But this time, and when I left, I said, and when I come back, I do not want to ever see you again. Ever see you again.
He was gone when you came back?
Oh, he tried to hang around because he didn't believe me. Mm-hmm. But
it's what we allow as women.
But when I went to Antigua, I cried. Antigua spelled pain and devastation. Mm. But when I was there, I met this young lady, and she talked to me, and we became good friends. And she said, Rose, I believe that the next time you come back here, it's going to be different. And I said to her, I'm not coming back. What am I coming back to Antigua for? I'm never going to come back here. Right. But it's been great to meet you. I had some time for healing and some time for thinking. Right. I prayed. I took some time to fast. I had forgotten so many disciplines in the pain. And we do that. And I had good, strong discipline, but I'd forgotten them. Just in the pain, just trying to stay sane. And I said, I'm never going back there. Why would I go back there? Because every time I get on the plane, I'm going to remember the devastation.
It's hurtful.
But in the midst of all of that, next thing I knew, I was in hospital. I had major surgery. My mom wasn't well. My mom passed away. And so within the space of 3 years, I signed divorce papers, I had major surgery, and I buried my mom.
That's a lot of loss.
It's a lot. So I did all of that, and then my girlfriend, the same girlfriend who I met in Antigua, she said to me, after my mom's funeral, she said, Rose, I know you said you'd never go back, but I've bought you a ticket for Antigua. I said, girl,
I'm sensing purpose. And
yes.
I'm feeling purpose. Ooh, and what I love about, I ain't that chick, the story outside of the story, because the divorce, the bad marriage, but there's a story outside.
Yes.
And this is the hope. And this is the redemption. And
exactly.
This is what I want, you to really tune into.
Yeah.
So,
and that was what I was about to block God's destiny for me when I said to her, no way, on God's green earth am I going to Antigua. And, when I met you, when you said I ain't that chick, that's what made me think about, I had to actually say to myself, hold on, I am not a person that's going to make everything have bad thoughts and bad images and attachments. And I said, okay, God, if you want me to go, if there's something for me to do there, then I'm going to go. I ain't that chick. I'm not somebody who shuts down my life because of pain. I had shut down a lot of things. I just stopped doing them. I just wanted to survive.
Not even live, just survive.
So I stopped a lot of things. But my life was beginning to bud. So I got on the plane and I got out my bikinis.
All right.
Excuse me, Bishop, if you're watching this. I got my bikini out and I went to Antigua. And when I arrived in Antigua, my friend, Ella, we laughed, we joked and everything. And then one day we said, hey, let's take a trip. Because we used to just hang around as locals. But we got on a boat. And when I was on the boat, it was a catamaran around the island. But as I was getting on the boat, I saw Karl Joseph.
Do you see the change in the face? You saw Karl Joseph.
Oh my word.
And just fast forward me from that day in Antigua to today.
Oh.
Karl Joseph.
Woo, Karl Joseph.
Oof.
All I know is there was this man on a boat that spoke to me in the sea, and the minute he spoke to me, I knew that I was walking into my destiny. I played hard to get because can't be too.
That's what we do. Right.
And I'm talking to him, and he's talking, and he will tell you if you put him on the camera, he's going to say. He actually said to me, "Who is this woman walking into my life?" And I jokingly said, "Who says I'm walking into your life? Who are you?"
He told you that day.
Who is this woman
but you
walking
knew
into my life?
it was something.
So there was a connection, and it was God, because I played hard to get. He was a perfect gentleman, and we just talked. We talked on the phone because I'm living in England. He was in Antigua, but he lived here in America. I'm talking. We're talking. We're really just. I don't know what it was. We were talking like we knew one another forever on the phone. And then one day he says to me, he says, "Hey, I bought a ticket to come to England." I freaked out. I hadn't told anybody that I'd met him because I didn't know what it meant.
Right. It's probably hard to trust somebody again.
Exactly. But I kept on saying, I ain't that chick. Because what was happening is I suddenly realized that the fear, I knew there was a connection between us, but the fear was me going, I was hurt before, I don't know you, I'm not getting married again, all these kind of things.
Right.
And I realized that my fear wasn't for Karl, he was wonderful. My fear was me going back into my past and wrapping things around me that I shouldn't. And so on that basis, I just decided to let go and let God. I did. I just decided to let go and let God.
Tell me, what is love like today?
Oh, looks. You know what it is? And all the marriage counselors out there, don't get upset with me, because I know everybody says that marriage is really hard and you have to work at it. Yes, you do. But shall I tell you what love is like?
Yes.
If you love one another, if you love one another, and if you're there for one another, and if you believe in one another, the journey is not that hard. And I'm going to get in trouble for the marriage counselors.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's not that hard.
That's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful.
Because you love the person. And you want the best for them. And you want them to be happy. Yes. And he wants me to be happy. And we've invested in one another. And we know that tomorrow we want to be together. Not just tomorrow, so forever. So you don't let obstacle come in the way and let them build up. Right. You only let obstacles build up if you're not invested in the person. Right. And it doesn't matter. But if it matters, you're going to move it out the way as quickly as you can.
So you can get on with the relationship, the
exactly.
living, the
because otherwise it's going to go and it's going to build up and you're not going to talk and you're not going to pray and you're not going to laugh and you're not going to make love. And you're building things up. But you're going to move it.
There might be a Rose out there, still with the mask on.
God.
I need you to speak to two different ladies. I want you to speak to the Rose out there with the mask on, that she sees some things and she's accepting, she's making excuses. I want you to speak to yourself. But then there's also a woman out there saying, well, God, if you did it for her, you'll give me a Karl too. I want you to speak to both.
I can do that. Okay, so I know there is somebody out there right now where you have been seeing things that just don't look right. But like me, you're a New Testament Church of God Pentecostal, don't believe in divorce, don't believe you got to work it through. And so the months have become years of pain. And in order to survive the pain, you've put this mask on. And trust me when I tell you, I don't speak divorce lightly. But what I'm saying to you is take the mask off, because you are just delaying the ultimate truth that something is not right. And if you don't take that mask off, you're not going to be able to move forward. And guess what? I took my mask off and I did have to say goodbye to my marriage. But you might take your mask off and guess what? You may be able to save your marriage. You don't know. But when you take the mask off, you trust God, and God can now do something.
Yes.
God just happened to have to tell me that the person you're with is not a man of integrity and he is damaging my daughter, so I don't want him in your life anymore. But God may have a different story for you. So all I'm asking you to do is take the mask off, face the music, find somebody that you can trust, and the disciplines you have to pray and to fast, get back into them. Make sure that that's what you're doing, because God answers prayers. And so don't lose heart. Pray, find someone you can trust, and you'll be okay. You will be okay. I guarantee it. You will be okay.
Thank you so much for sharing your story.
You wanted me to talk to them?
Yes, I do.
Okay. The Karls. There's a Karl out there. So there's somebody out there, you're divorced. Maybe you've been divorced a year. Maybe you've been divorced 10 years. Maybe you haven't even ever been married. But you know what? What I did after I moved through my transition, I trusted God. His word says that he will restore the years that the locusts have eaten. And if you know your word, it talks about different types of locusts and worms. And those mean the ones that have eaten the leaves and eaten the buds and eaten the roots. Everything is gone. But you know what? I believed the word. I said, okay, God, you said you can restore the years. You told me that I was going to have a good life. You told me I was going to be okay. You told me I was going to have a man that loved me forever. So I'm not asking you to give me a man. I'm just asking you to restore the years. And if with that comes, then it comes. And then all I did was I just waited on God. I just waited on him, and I started to trust him. And I started to use, I didn't even know this young lady then, but I started to use the phrase, I ain't that chick. But because I'm I'm British, I was saying, I'm not that lady.
That's okay.
But I'm in America now, so I said, I ain't that chick.
Yes.
And I began to just trust God, and I moved forward, and I took all the weight off me. I got rid of the weight. I got rid of the stuff that so easily besets you. And I went, Lord, I'm going to trust you. And then I just started to walk forward, because I'd stopped walking forward. So I started to walk forward, and as I walked forward, God was able to bring me to my destiny. If I didn't go to Antigua, if I didn't let Karl come to England, if I didn't come to America, if I didn't trust, if I didn't just say, Karl, I got some hideous stuff that went on with me, with a man back in my life, but I know that you're not that man. So I'm going to trust you. I didn't put any burdens on Karl. I didn't.
So cute.
I didn't put any burden on him. Cute. I didn't put any
that first relationship on
No,
Karl.
I didn't.
That's a lesson for a lot of us.
No. Because you can write, you can really damage. Yeah. When you go, it's not easy to go into a second marriage if you bring everything and you're looking at the things that happened to you. I came in fresh. I came in virgin. I just came on in and I just said, okay, let's go. And I think that's what it is. You know, Karl and I have been through our stuff. He's been through his stuff as well. We didn't put it on each other. We just trusted God, and we have a life that is focused on God, that we live before God, that we pray,
that's beautiful.
that we fast, that we laugh, that we trust.
I noticed, you know, when you came in, you guys didn't see this part, but here, as prepping for the interview, when she walked in the door after she gave me a hug, she went over and she just touched him and put her hand on him, and I just said, the details. So, thank you so much for sharing your story. I just so appreciate, you know, you just sharing hope, being open and vulnerable and taking your mask off and sharing hope for so many people out there with masks on and people that feel like, oh, you know, God, when is my Karl ever going to come?
He'll
coming.
He'll
He's
come.
coming.
And it's God's time. It's God's timing.
There's nothing you can do about God's timing.
It's God's timing.
Except to go through it.
Yeah.
So thank you.
But you have to walk forward.
But you can't get stuck. You gotta keep believing, keep trusting, and keep praying. And
Gotta keep
talking,
moving. Gotta keep moving.
keep trusting. Thank you so much.
Want to find out more about I Ain't That Chick? Visit our website at www.iantthatchick.com.